There are stories that belong to no one. They were not written, they were not decided, they were not begun by a single voice. They were carried from father to son, from mother to daughter, from one generation of mountain people to another. They were spoken beside fires, inside wooden huts, in caves, not to judge, not to frighten, but so that memory would not die. The story I speak now is one of these. It is older than my name, older than my footsteps upon stone, older than my tired bones. I heard it from others, and those who told it to me had not lived in those times either. I am Zalmor, but this is not my memory. I speak it as it was given to me. In the beginning there was no light, there was no darkness, there was no time. There was only the will. From this will was born Zeuta, the father god, as the mountain peoples name him. He was not made. He was not summoned. He did not come from elsewhere. He was the foundation itself. And deep within him, the first thing that awakened was love. From love, he shaped the light, from light, the sky, from the sky, the waters, from the waters, the earth. But the world was silent. It had no witnesses, no memory. So he shaped the first beings, the small gods. He formed them from deep light and flowing time, from living thought and unseen order. He gave them sight beyond what had not yet been born, power over wind and stone. But he did not give them thrones, he gave them a purpose. And he said, "You shall serve the order of the world. You shall hold the sky stretched open. You shall not be masters. You shall not be worshipped. You shall not be gods to those who will come. You shall be watchers." And for a long time they served in silence, and the world grew straight. When the order was complete, Zeuta shaped mankind. Not from light, but from damp earth and warm breath. He made him small, passing, fragile. But he gave him freedom of choice, and he loved him more than anything else he had made. Some of the small gods rejoiced, but others felt for the first time a burning they had never known, envy. And envy became pride. They looked upon mortal man and hated how deeply he was loved. They looked upon his weakness and despised it. They looked upon his freedom and desired it. And Zeuta said to them, "He will not be as you are, but he will be more beloved." Some bowed their heads. These remained faithful. They became the Watchers. And among them were those remembered as the founders of the mountain peoples. They were given a further task, not to rule mankind, but to teach them how to remain human. They taught the people of the mountains to live in harmony with stone and water, with forests and wind, with the slow breath of the earth. They taught them to cultivate the soil, only to feed themselves, not to wound it, to build communities, not dominions, to share fire, not to hoard it, to recognize one another as kin, not as prey. They taught them to live simply, with love in their work, with love in their homes, with love even in their silence. And to seal these teachings in memory, the Watchers gave them a set of laws. They were called the Laws of Belagines, the laws of living in harmony. They were not written in stone at first, but in the habits of daily life, in the way bread was broken, in the way the weak were protected, in the way strangers were received, in the way truth was spoken without being sharpened into a blade. And these same founders left mankind a quiet prophecy that Zeuta would not allow the world to wander forever, that one day he would send the One of Great Counsel, the one born of eternity, who would clothe himself in the form of a man to walk among humans and to light again the path back to love. But others among the small gods hardened their hearts. From pride came the hunger to be worshipped. From hunger, the thirst for power. From thirst, the fall. They tore themselves from the order, like stones breaking from a mountain. They became the fallen gods. Zeuta did not destroy them, but he placed a boundary upon them. They were not to touch human life with their own hands. So they chose another path. They touched the mind. They came as shining teachers, as bringers of secrets, as friends of ambition. They brought knowledge without wisdom, power without shame, law without mercy, and mankind learned. From these teachings were born tyrant kings, cities without souls, wars without number, and giants of flesh or of pride. Then the great waters returned, not as punishment, but as cleansing. And the world was carried back near its beginning. Yet not all humans perished. A few fled toward the heights, climbing the harshest peaks where the waters could not reach. From them new peoples were born, children of stone and mist, bearers of the old memory. After the great waters withdrew, the faithful ones descended among men, not as gods, but as old wanderers, as keepers of the good fire, as guardians of memory. One of them was Zamolxe, and a time will come when I will speak his story as well. Zeuta did not return to the first silence. He remained, not upon thrones, but in waiting. He remained watching the world like a father who does not abandon his wandering child. He waits still for mankind to return to the first light, to love. Beings who lit fires to warm, not to burn. Who raised houses to shelter, not to dominate. Who spoke truth without sharpening it into a weapon. He does not seek a world without mistakes. He seeks a world that turns back from its wandering. And this waiting has no haste, no anger, no end. It is made from the same substance as the first light, from love. Thus the story was given to me. I do not know if it is whole. I do not know if it is pure. I know only that the mountains heard it before I did, and that the mountain people carried it forward, like an old wound and a small flame.